Between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Prescott now on 2nd down. He hits Beasley right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. Prescott to throw it. He'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help. I
would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 18 carries, 79 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Looking to throw. Prescott. In the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3rd and long for Prescott. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And they've got it here with a first down. Here's a give to Fournette. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
A handoff to Fournette. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Fournette, a first down carry. Fournette fighting through, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now Leonard Fournette, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Foles. Looking for the end zone. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Foles. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Prescott. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because There is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands.
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out, and the Cowboys have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have step. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Foles. And Tate's got it. He got 29 yards that time.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence. When in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He's going to go. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. On 1st and 10, Prescott drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A second down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, Cooper with it. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Prescott now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
To the air again, Prescott. He's airing it out for Will. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And just shouting him off there. A big play there just before halftime. 62 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Demetrius Harris, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. So thanks to the we now proceed to the start of the second half. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Let's go. Pick.
They'll run it again with Fournette. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school smash mouth football. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnover. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
The pitch to Fournette. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll set up a throw. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Fournette. He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On second down, Elliott. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Again, it's Fournette. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll toss it to Fournette. Look at the spin. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll drop to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Good for an Eagles 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement, and he gets it down to the 32. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Eagles on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Running left, it's Fournette. Space to run past the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Go!
This is Fournette. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. A little unconventional, but another kneel down here as they work towards a field goal try. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. 2 for 2 on the afternoon, and a 3rd would win it. And this one is right through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Eagles, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's going to all
you